after a couple of heat races and real speed-based tournaments in our last couple of events, we are back to the more interesting events here, as we've got a brand new event here for today's number 10 event of this season. This is the 2021 Marble Champions League. Hello again, friends. I'm Keanu, Biedrzycki. Glad to be here with you. As you see your overall standings on the left side of your screen, the Steel Brothers advancing their lead a little bit further, up to 14 points now over Oris 1, and then the Janitors running back in third, and then the Trojans in flush, your top five, as they were able to take second place in our last event, the slalom race. We again ran a more traditional marble race, but we are back to some of the more interesting events. The teams are ready, the fans are ready. Are you guys ready? This is event number 10 of the 2021 Marble Champions League. This is Collision Soccer. You have our course here. You can see it's a very interesting one, a mix of a couple of different styles here. You've got that rail racing that's going to start out. This is not, by the way, going to be a group event. This is going to be 8 different runs of one-on-one, which will advance us into the quarterfinals, then we'll go into the semifinals, then down to our finale. This is a round of 16. We'll start with the Savage, Jackal, and the Archangels. This is a full team event. We've got a couple of goals going on. Looks like it's 3-2, and everybody else is going to hold still. 3-2, the Savage, Jackal knock out the Archangels. And the first two were the Savage Jackal, or excuse me, were the Archangels. So a great job by the Savage Jackal to put in a couple of scores there at the end, because they were down 2-0 quickly against the Archangels, as you can see there on the replay. But the Savage Jackal into our first quarterfinal. They'll face the winner of this next matchup, which is the Steel Brothers and the Lynx Rufus. They are off. Down the rail they go. Going to try to get down first. That's going to be your tiebreaker in case of a tie. There's a goal. There's another one for the Steel Brothers. And that's all, I believe. Yep, everybody's going to hold still now. The Lynx Rufus unable to score. Steel Brothers pick up 2, and they advance to take on the Savage Jackal. Not a ton of scoring early in that one. Took a little bit of time before the Steel Brothers were able to score, and obviously we didn't get any scoring whatsoever. On the other end from the Lynx Rufus. First quarterfinal is set, and our next matchup is the Snow Wolves and the Speedy Hunters. It looks like the Snow Wolves have spread out a little bit. You want to stay as close as you can. There's a couple of goals. There's a third. There's a fourth for the Snow Wolves. What a run. The Snow Wolves are going to score everything they can. Only one on the board for the Speedy Hunters, and so it's the Snow Wolves coming off of a pretty strong run in the last event, keeping that momentum up. Now look how quickly they scored. Yeah, wow. Got a couple of them, and really, they all went down pretty easily and pretty quickly, but 2 of those scores were incredibly fast. The Snow Wolves advance, and they'll take on the winner of the Onyx and the Sphery Spiders in this round of 16. Sphery Spiders, the white, the black of the Onyx, and there's a couple of goals, maybe just one. Yeah, just one so far. There's a second for Onyx. That's going to seal the deal. They're going to pick up a third for good measure. There's one at the end for the Sphery Spiders, but 3 on the board for Onyx. They get it done to advance. So far, we haven't had to use that tiebreaker, but you'll see up on the score bug there at the top of the screen, that time that's going to pop up is what time it was that they made it down onto the course, onto the soccer field here. That's going to be your tiebreaker in case we happen to have a couple of teams score the same. Haven't had to use it yet, and in fact, every time so far out of the 4 we've run, the first team down scores the most points. Let's see if that holds up here between Oris 1 and the Trojans. If it does, it bodes well for, I think, the Trojans. Here comes 1 score for Oris 1. There's 1 for the Trojans. A second for Oris 1 is going to get them the win. Pulled it out at the last second there. I think we may have lost one of the... Yep, you can see on that replay, one of the Trojans' marbles came back up and out of the course. So I was going to say, I only saw a couple on the playing surface there, and then 1 in the net. So Oris 1 could have an advantage there because they had more marbles on the course, as you'll have like one more replay. There it is, right back up and over the fencing there for the Trojans, who continue a not-so-great streak. They're knocked out in the first round here again. And Oris 1 will take on the winner of Swiftblade against the Vikings here. Off they go. Swiftblade looks like they're in the lead early. There's 3 goals for the Vikings. Swiftblade trying to make something happen at the end. They will pick up just the 1. And the Vikings pick up 3. They continue their hot streak. They're advancing into the quarterfinals. And they just became the first team to get to the bottom of the field second, but still advance. A 4.345 on their time to a 4.128 for Swiftblade there. Doesn't matter, they get it done. The Vikings will take on Oris 1 in the quarterfinals. Now it's the Janitors against Flush. How fitting there, this matchup. The Janitors have been successful all season, but they're in some trouble here. 3-1, that's it. It's Flush that will get the win. And a second straight time that the first team down is not going to advance. Have a look at the replay, and just nothing happened there for the Janitors. They just didn't have anything really going. Able, after a little bit of contact, maybe they would have been able to pick up 2 if their 2 marbles on the left side hadn't made contact, but even if that happened, that's not enough to get it done, because there were 3 points on the board for Flush. So they're advancing into the quarterfinal, and they will set up our final matchup, which is the winner of this last matchup of the first round. That's Tatu Bola against the Blue Jackets. Blue Jackets coming off of a win, and they have 2-3 points, and that's enough to get it done. Blue Jackets advance, and they will take on Flush. 3-1 the win over Tatu Bola. As we have a look at the replay, it was the one pretty easy for Tatu Bola. Then there is a quick one for the Blue Jackets. There's another one and another one after that. 3-1, they get the win to advance to the quarterfinal. And we'll go back up to the top of the bracket. It's the Savage Jackal against the Steel Brothers. Savage Jackal trying to do everybody a favor and knock out the championship leaders. There's 2 points for the Steel Brothers. Nobody else is going to score, and they will advance into the semifinal. Go the Steel Brothers with a 2-1 win. How close was that? Look at the timing. 4.258 to 4.263. So if they had tied, still would have been the Steel Brothers on what would have been awfully close. Look at the replay there. There's the winner. It goes in for the Steel Brothers with their second point. They nearly added a third, and you can see none of the Savage Jackal marbles really anywhere close. As we move our way down to our second quarterfinal, the Snow Wolves against Onyx. For the second straight time, white versus black when Onyx is involved. There's a couple of scores for the Snow Wolves. Onyx is going to have to make something happen. There's 3, and it's a 3-0 shutout for the Snow Wolves to advance into the semifinal, where they get the Steel Brothers. Forward now with the Vikings against Oris 1. Oris 1 second place. They really need this to keep it going. 1-1. Here's a second for Oris 1. Close off the side of the net there. Contacted one of the Vikings marbles, but they cannot get it done. And Oris 1 advances to the semifinal. So they're trying to stay step by step along with the Steel Brothers. They have to make up points. They're 14 points now, but you definitely can't be eliminated when you see the other team that you're chasing continuing to go further and further into the tournament. Steel Brothers making it awfully tough on anybody. They continue to have success into the final last time. They're in the semifinals at least here today, which is the equivalent of the final from every other event with the grouping. As the Blue Jackets look for a second straight win, there's 2 points for them, and the Flush aren't going to get it done. The Blue Jackets into the semifinal. Look at the replay here. The Blue Jackets now trying to get on a hot run as the second half of the season is underway. And this is a 16-event season. Our 10th event here. as we make our way to the semifinal. The Steel Brothers and the Snow Wolves. Can anybody knock off the championship leaders? Trying to get it done. There's a goal for the Snow Wolves. There's their second goal. There's their third goal. There's two for the Steel Brothers. They cannot get the last one to go. The Snow Wolves advance into the finale. They knock out the Steel Brothers, who still will finish with an impressive run in today's event, but they're unable to get into the finale as 1, 2, 3, about as quick as possible for the Snow Wolves, just unable to get that third marble to go. For the Steel Brothers, you can see right there is the second one that falls, and then on the left side of the screen you see hovering around that goal, close, made contact with the side post, but unable to score. And so the Snow Wolves advance into the finale. And they'll take on either Oris 1 or the Blue Jackets. The Blue Jackets trying to win a second straight event. Oris 1 trying to get to the finale again. They've won 2 events already. They're the only team to win more than 1. There are 2 goals for Oris 1. There's a second for the Blue Jackets. Did we get a... Nope, there's a third for the Blue Jackets. There's a fourth for the Blue Jackets, and they get it done. Their time was slower than Oris 1, so they needed to score more points. They did, and they advanced to the finale again. What a run in the last couple of weeks by the Blue Jackets. Winning in event number 9. And now trying to do it again. What a great run by them. They'll take on the Snow Wolves in the finale. Oris 1 is going to best out the Steel Brothers just barely, just by 1 spot. Not going to do a lot toward the championship points, but it will at least help them get just a tiny bit closer. But now the finale and everything that we have worked for today comes down to this. The Blue Jackets on the left, the darker blue, the more of a white color with the blue is the Snow Wolves. They are off. The finale is underway. There's a couple of goals there. The Snow Wolves again with 3 more. And that's going to do it. There's a second for the Blue Jackets. They will not score a third. And the Snow Wolves, again with that quick attack, which is exactly what they did in the semifinal. Got it done so quickly in a blink of an eye. You're already having to score 3 or 4, and just barely the Blue Jackets were down first, so they would have only needed 3. They get 2, but could not pick up that final one they needed. They're both close to the goal. Neither would go in, and so it's the Snow Wolves that win this event in our collision soccer. Congratulations to them as you have a look at the results for today's event. And it's 3 points that Oris 1 is going to make up on the Steel Brothers. From 3rd to 4th place, they take that bronze medal. Silver, of course, goes to the Blue Jackets. Gold to the Snow Wolves. Steel Brothers 4th, Vikings 5th, Savage, Jackal, and Flush and Onyx are 6th, 7th, and 8th, the top half of our bracket from today. In this 1 versus 1 matchup, the lead for the Steel Brothers is down to 11 points. 117 to 106, and then another 12 points back to the Snow Wolves, who get their first win. They're in that win column now, as we've got a bunch of winners. Only 1 multi-time winner in 10 events, but it's an 11-point lead for somebody who hasn't won at all. The Steel Brothers continue to be stopped from getting their first event win, but they continue to hold a double-digit point lead when it comes to the overall standings, which is ultimately what you're going for. Congratulations to Oris 1. They pick up 6 goals over the course of the event, taking a bronze. They're up to 106 points. The Blue Jackets picked up 7 goals en route to a silver. 10 goals for the Blue Jackets, for the Snow Wolves. They deserved it, as they got it done in a pretty impressive fashion with 10 goals, well more than anybody else, and they do it with 3 in a matter of a second, coming down in our finale. So congratulations to them today. They all aspire to be the Snow Wolves as they get it done in event number 10 of the 2021 Marble Champions League. Until next time, I'm Keanu Biedrzycki, and you've been watching a presentation of Marble Fubeca.